Welcome back to the Elle-Sera podcast, and today's guest is Lewis Ellis from Hustle Marketing. Hustle Marketing is a disruptive marketing brand, so we're going to see what that actually entails with Lewis. Hiya, how are you doing?
Good. What was this? Disruptive.
Well, because, what is disruptive?
You're making me swear straight away.
I know, but what is disruptive?
Disruptive is, it's actually a certain style of marketing, to be fair. It's like saying, I don't know, brand marketing. Disruptive marketing is like guerrilla tactics, PR, scrappy, usually low budget. So yeah, it's a real type of marketing, genuinely.
No, I know it is, but maybe
then what was this?
Maybe the audience doesn't. Okay. So we will walk them through it. Talk about guerrilla marketing.
Okay. Yeah, disruptive marketing, guerrilla marketing, however you want to phrase it. I just say disruptive because I quite like the term disruption. It's kind of been coined off as like a tech thing now. Like a lot of people go, oh yeah, we're disruptors. And it's like fucking 70-year-old HR Susan going, we're going to do disruptive networking. Shut up. I'm not interested in that stuff. Mine's more guerrilla. Mine's more scrappy. I always say to people, if I had my way with decent budgets, it'd be things like tanks, like giraffes, chimpanzees with machine guns, and do you know what I mean? Just weird shit. Things that stand out. Now that wouldn't work for every brand. I can't see El-Sera getting away with, but
there would be a style of guerrilla marketing that we could employ, definitely.
Yeah, I don't think is correct.
I don't think it's fair. No,
yeah. Let's pretend I didn't say that. No offense against.
Okay, so you are somebody who is into disruptive marketing. So my favourite campaign of yours actually happened in Liverpool. Talk to me about how you came up with your Elton John viral moment.
Yeah, so these are annoying to me because they're not even, clients aren't even letting me do that stuff yet. Clients are like, calm down. And I'm like, why? Like just one Elton John? Or just one? What a half an Elton? But yeah, so I had to start doing my own thing. Basically, what happens when you work in marketing, you go to a client and they go, here's my budget. It's usually buttons. Like, I've got 3 buttons and 2 pieces of tinsel. And then you go, great. And then you got to try and make that fit a campaign that's exciting. And it tends to get quite toned down because you've got to match their brand. So I was doing that quite a lot and I was like, okay, cool. But I'm not really getting a chance to showcase what we're about. So I was like, okay, fuck it. I want to do something mad. And I'd had this idea in my head for a long time of getting this sort of a doppelganger and tricking a city. I saw it in 2012. Some lads did it with Obama in America, right? And they got like a limousine and caused a chaotic scene. And I was like, oh, I'll do it with Justin Bieber. Yeah. And then Justin wasn't performing in the UK anywhere. Right. But then Ellen was in Manchester in 2022. Was it 2022? Yeah, Manchester. It was November, and I was like, banger. Elton's really well known. Everyone will go crazy. There's an Elton John doppelganger in London. I rang him up, looks like my grandma, and I was like, you're in. And we dragged him up, and he was up for anything. Funny thing is, I actually was planning on doing it in Manchester, and turns out I looked at the concert dates for the wrong year. So,
oh my God.
But luckily, Elton was performing a few weeks later in Liverpool, so that's why I was here. But it was supposed to be Manchester because of the way you can drive into the city centre and you can pick people up and cause like a scene. But you can actually do that in Liverpool as well, right? So that's where the idea came from. I went to some lads and I went, hey, I've got a marketing company. I'm going to start branching out into more creative stuff. This is my idea. Do you want to get involved? And they were all like, mate, I think you're a fucking idiot and weird. So they just threw that in there. They just could have left it idiot, but you know what I mean? So I got weirdo and idiot. And I was like, well, if I pay you monies, will you do it? And they were like, we'll always take monies off weird people. And that's kind of how it went. And no one believed it would work. And to be honest, it's one of those really cheesy moments because I'm like, I knew it. But everything went wrong as well on the day. Everything.
If anybody hasn't seen it, and you can go on YouTube, and we could link it below actually if I remember to do it, I'll be honest. So it's if you Google like Lewis Ellis, Elton John.
I think it's Elton John. It's not even that clever. Like if you guys were just going shopping.
I mean, you managed to get Primark into the shop because he was going to Primark to buy sunglasses or something, and that was the ruse in it. And did Primark get in touch with you? Did they thank you? Did they acknowledge it in any way?
I wouldn't thank me for that, right? So basically what makes it disruptive, taking a doppelganger out shopping is not disruptive. What makes it disruptive is, this is where the term disruption comes from, is looking at something going, how can it be very different to what anyone else has done, right? So I went, the PR stunt is fake Elton. Elton's performing at 7 o'clock. If he's out shopping at 6 p.m, people might believe it, right? It's on the day, the fans are there, so that's the believable bit. Get fake security, get a couple of nice cars, that's PR stunt. And I'm like, well, what if we're making an advert? So how's this linked to marketing? Well, I'm going to be making an advert for Primark, right? The joke is that the king of they call himself Queen of Fashion, doesn't he? The Queen of Fashion, my grandma, is going shopping at Primark, lost her iconic glasses and wants to get some new sunglasses. That's the joke. So Primark sell crazy sunglasses, so it links really nicely. So we're making an advert. So we actually filmed a real advert in real life, in real time. It's kind of like how Johnny Knoxville will film a Jackass movie. You don't know you're in the movie, but you're in the movie. And the reactions are so much better than an actor could ever do. Like we had people run past screaming, shouting, and they were barging their way on to get autographs. Means that as far as I was concerned, they were volunteering to be part of my advert. Because if you're that rude, you're going to barge in someone's personal space. You basically signed up for it. And as a result, we got a really nice advert out of it. But obviously the advert came with a PR stunt. And I love that sort of aspect. Whereas most marketing agencies would either do a PR stunt or they do an advert on like a closed set. And because it's so chaotic, that's what made it mine. It works really well. Primark would never ever reach out. I mean, I wouldn't. They'd be
Why
like,
not?
who is this little dickhead trying to...
Even on Twitter, I definitely would have. If you did it for like Aldi, I feel like Aldi's Twitter account is amazing. They would have had a lot of fun with it.
See, but I mean, they just stole my idea a year later. Let's not talk about that though.
Why did they
just rinse my idea?
Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
Go on.
To be honest, I can't claim doppelgangers as mine, can I? Because it happens. People have done it. I got an idea from someone else years ago. It's just a bit coincidental that a year later.
What Aldi did? What?
They got the fake Kate Moss and went shopping in Manchester during the fashion show. And it's not. I mean, I wouldn't mind, but the agency that did it are based in Manchester. Right, it's not a stretch to think they might have heard that a Manchester company did something similar, and everyone was like, "This is a bit weird."
Oh well, listen, great minds.
Someone else did it as well.
Alike.
Someone else did it as well, and they fucked it right up. But,
did they?
Yeah, but they're getting a lot of attention now. They're doing what they want Dragons then. Anyway, so the idea was I want to start doing disruptive stuff to show how we think and what I do and why it's different. And that's kind of been the concept. And so the ideas was to share those. Did the AirPods one, got a tattoo on my ass for another thing for charity and did a billboard thing.
Let's talk about your tattoos, because I actually started following you because of your tattoos, not because I think they're fantastic, but because Lord Sugar slagged them off.
Because I think they're shit.
Yeah.
Don't think they're fantastic because they're not. First this and now you look like shit.
Oh God.
I'm having a great time.
Yeah, no, I mean it the nicest possible way, but I was sat on Twitter one night and I hadn't even really watched that episode of The Apprentice, but I was just sat on Twitter one night and I seen Lord Sugar pull you on the fact that you were like in a scene with your tattoos out, and he was like, "Oh my God, Lewis, they're horrific." So it's like started trolling you, and
he's definitely wanking while watching it as well. Do you know what I mean? He obviously was. I mean, it's the only reason he has such a really weird reaction.
Oh God! And honestly, I just thought you took it on the chin so well. And I just thought, oh, this lad's quite funny. He's took it on the chin really well. So I started following you since then. And then obviously I've seen all your like madcap stuff that you've done. And there's been many of it. Yes, you lost your AirPods and flew halfway around the world to go and get them. That's another great viral video if you haven't watched it. Very engaging as well. I think it's like 45 minutes long and it kept my attention the whole way through.
I've still not financially recovered. It was expensive. I've been watching Tiger King today, so you're going to get a lot of quotes. Yeah.
But no, it was really good. And I'm somebody who bounces a lot of ideas around with you, myself and my own brand, because I like to do things. Listen, I haven't got big marketing budgets. So the fact that you think creatively and you can think as a small business owner who's got no creative budget, but that can actually make a stir is a real asset. And I think a lot of marketeers don't do that. I have been with some fucking expensive marketing companies in my time who are brand strategists, and they've got a wealth of experience with some incredible brands and they've built incredible brands. That to me is not entrepreneurship. That's not creativity, because anyone can throw money at a problem. Can you do it? Can you do it with $5,000?
Look, I think it goes like this. You can get a lot of attention with a lot of money. Take Barbie, right? They spent millions and millions and millions of pounds. So it was everywhere, right? So you couldn't miss it. That's one way of going about it. Was anything really super creative in what they did? Not really. I mean, there's the bin thing, but that wasn't even them. You know, the Oppenheimer rubbish in the thing. But like, for me, you're right? I do marketing campaigns for businesses. So their budget is theirs. When it comes to my budget, what have I got really? So how am I? You get all these absolute tosspots going, oh, we're super creative, no bullshit marketing. Oh, fuck off, man. And you see the people behind them and they are pure just bullshitters for one, or they're just so boring.
Yeah.
They're trying to be interesting. And I'm not saying I'm interesting, but I am me. And I've always been this way. If you go way back before The Apprentice, way back before, I used to just do things to see what would happen. Like I was in the newspapers because apparently I went to Syria by accident. Like I was an absolute shitbag. And so these ideas, I've always been very creative and come up with really wild ideas. But I never worked in marketing. But now I work in marketing, I'm like, I just keep doing. Yeah, I was like, on the weirdest things that ever happened in the Trafford Centre was me going swimming in the swimming pool. Like top 3 weirdest things that ever happened at the Trafford Centre. Lewis going swimming before anyone had even seen me. Before I graduated.
Where is this? You mean the big fountain?
Yeah. Like it isn't there anymore.
Oh, right.
I'm not saying it's my fault, but I did piss in the pool. So no. But the thing is, like, I've done these things for years. People have always called me oddball or strange
or an attention seeker.
But it was never for attention because no one would really. You'd only come across it and be like, that was weird. Why is he doing that over there? So like. And I was playing with content. I just liked the idea of just doing whatever you want to do and fuck everyone else. And as a result, a lot of people don't like that, right? And that's fine. I don't care. They can do it. They don't have to like me. Not everyone does. But the ones that do like me and the ones that do get the vibe and they understand where I'm going from. And obviously, as a marketing business person now, that's everything's marketing related. It's all very creative and it's all about how can we raise brand awareness? How can we get leads? How can we get sales? That actually those creative ideas I used to have. I found a way to harness them and put them in a positive light and a positive way. Like the Elton John thing, like anyone could do that, but my purpose was I'm trying to raise awareness. I got a marketing company.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I was naked on a billboard before that.
Well, I was going to bring that up as well. And this is why I said, are you a bit of an attention seeker? Because, you put yourself naked on a billboard with a massive mustache.
Yeah, Burt Reynolds, sexy. It was Burt Reynolds was the sexiest man alive in 1970, and that's the Cosmo centerfold. The idea behind that was very weird as well. But again, very low budget. How can we get some attention? We've just been told that we're probably so basically a company we'd met had said that we were doing the same thing that everyone else says. Like I said before, no bullshit marketing, and I was like, yeah, but I'm not pretending. So we put the billboard very close to where their office is, so like they would have driven past it every day, and it was like we didn't say their name, but we said a law firm. Like you're just the same as everyone else, law firm at 2020. And it was like, want to bet? Like, so it was just childish fun. But the idea was to take a picture of that and share it online and just goes into the things of like, look at all the things that we do that's very different. And unfortunately, I have to front them. Like if I could have paid for him to go on there naked, that would have been perfect. But unfortunately, I can't afford him. There's a chap over there naked. It's weird. But yeah, so why is he naked in the chair?
Poor Calvin.
No, but yeah, so like I have to front them. It's not about me wanting the attention. I want the money. I want the business. I want the sales, right? Unfortunately, I have to get my face on camera sometimes.
I feel that pressure. Everybody says you are your brand's biggest asset.
You're sat here right now.
I know. And then, so I've got some great pictures that I did in Mexico and everyone's saying, put them out there, put them out there, put them out there. Daily Mail just wants to put pictures out there of you in a bikini, they'll print them. And I was like, I don't want the backlash. You must have thicker skin than me. Whereas I think people will look at me thinking, who the fuck she thinks she is?
Yeah, but the people ain't going to pay you any money anyway. Like the way I see it is this, right? Like I said, people will not like me anyway, just simple because they don't want to, right? I don't give a fuck because they're never going to work with me. I'm never going to be connected to them. And if I did see them, we'd probably pass each other and we wouldn't even know who each other are. Like, so it's irrelevant to me, completely irrelevant. The world's massive. But I do know that there's a small subsection, like say half people that made me hate me, right? That's fine. Half people just go, oh, he's all right. Maybe 10% of those people, 20% of those people go, oh, I quite like what he does. And 5% of those people go, fucking love this guy. I have to work with him. Don't worry about the price. Like, just tell me what it's going to take. They're the calls I take now. I take the phone calls from people going, yesterday, a guy rings me and goes, oh, I came across you. You did this guy's website. I was like, no, I didn't. And he was like, yeah, you did. And I was like, I've been through your stuff and I love what you do. And I'm like, yeah, but I didn't build a website. He was like, it doesn't matter. Like, we need to work with you. So he basically thought he'd rang another company, checked my stuff, and then decided that he had to work with me. And next thing I know, I'm speaking to his boss about army tanks. And that's a brand new potential customer. Well, maybe not after this. But but yeah, like that's conversations I have. And I would much rather have that in my life. Like if loads of people hear about what we're doing and 10% of them like love us so much they have to work with us and just like we get along like house on fire because we're the same. We're both innovators. We're both disruptive, both creative, rather than me just trying to appease everyone and no one hearing about what we get up to, what we do. I'm not even controversial. I mean, I said this thing about before, but I mean, I'm so going to get sued or something.
Well, we could have cut that out, so stop mentioning it again.
Yeah, no, just beep it out, please. Just beep it so you don't know what I'm actually saying. But yeah, like, I don't really say anything controversial. I don't go out my way to hurt people. I'll never do anything with malice. I get upset when people feel sad. Like, I go out my way to help kids and work at colleges and stuff. So I know I'm doing all the right things. I'm trying to give good karma. So if you don't like me, then fuck you, because you're obviously just a dickhead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
And I think you should think the same. Fuck them. Who cares if they get jealous?
And well, everyone's like, just put it out there.
And you're gonna look way better than I will in a bikini. Put it that way. Like Like, so you're gonna actually
I know, but is it a bit pretentious?
Yeah, but it's like a beauty brand. It fits the vibe. Like I saw all the women as well in the stuff we did some editing for a shoot. Like they were all like dead, like happy and sharing body positivity, etc. So fuck the people that go, who do you think she is?
I know, yeah, but it's Daily Mail comment section.
Yeah, I mean, but
I know, but then I just think, why bother reading it? Because the people who comment on the Daily Mail comment section are literally not doing anything with their lives.
No, they're like the actual dregs of society, genuinely. Yeah. Look, have you ever commented on the Mail on a
Never
newspaper comments?
in a million years, I couldn't even be asked to sit there and make an account that would make me available to comment in the comment section.
Sad. I think I signed one up once just to troll all the people trolling my friend. But apart from that, like, there's like social platform. What's it called? Tattle Life or something.
Oh my God, that is. I wouldn't even look at that thing.
The people that are on Daily Mail, the people that are in them sort of networks, it's just a constant vibe of negativity.
Do you know what I want to say about Tattle? Right, one of my good friends, she gets absolutely rinsed on there. She's a blogger, and I know her really well. She gets rinsed on there. Anyway, there was one day on Tattle where all of them were like outing each other, and this real woman's name got said. And then she said, I've looked at her account, Alyssa, and you comment on her stuff all the time. And I was like, no way is that someone who's like big on Tattle. I couldn't believe this woman. And she was like, okay, so, and I was felt so sad for her. I thought, wow, this woman like would be the last person I think would sit there and rip someone apart as much as she does on Tattle. Like, you've got to pity these people.
Yeah, genuinely.
You really do.
I genuinely just feel sorry for people now. Like, I know people say, I don't care. And at first, even after The Apprentice, I was still saying, I really don't give a shit. If you like me or not, that's fine. Like, do what you want. I don't care. Because I've got way so much stuff going on. I haven't got time to pay attention to it. And then people go, oh, well, if you're saying it, then you do care. And I'm like, I fucking can't win. Like, I couldn't give two flying fucks. But the sad thing, the reason you have to pity them is because they literally have nothing else going on.
No, yeah, that's true.
I can't even find time to eat food day to day.
Yeah.
Because I'm running around trying to do a million different things because I'm trying to propel my life forward that way. If I cared what anyone else was thinking or saying, like, even I haven't got the capacity to give it time of thought. But it's so sad. And I also noticed that on TikTok, a lot of negativity, a lot of negative comments trying to criticize. And I'm not just on my stuff. I don't really post that much anymore because I focus on LinkedIn. But it's just, I just feel sorry for them.
The thing is, I don't like about TikTok is it's not a community because there's like not really caption space, or it's not really about captions, is it? And it's like, you can't really comment on this. So there's no community feel. And that's why I just don't bother with that platform, because I just feel like it's just not for me. I like having this tribal community that's very supportive of women.
Yeah. And
we've really got that on Instagram and Facebook as well. So I just, it's just not for me.
I think you have to find your own. Like, I've been building my own little community. I just texted them before, like, who fancies a casino night? So I've been like slowly but surely finding cool people over the last 3 or 4 years and putting them into like it's called the Society.
Why am I not in this WhatsApp group?
Yeah. You have to go to, so basically you have to go to an event to join this group. It's called the Society. It's dead secret. And the only way to find out about it is there's a footer on my website which says, put your email here and you get notified. And then they buy a ticket, they don't know where they're going, and etc. And these weird events come out of them. And we share the event stuff, but we don't actually let anyone else in our little group. Anyway, I think I had to build my own little network of people like that. And it's amazing how many amazing people joined in such a short space of time. Business owners, successful people who are just starting out, people who are students, people who are in careers. And but everyone, when they come together, they really push each other to succeed. And it's very interesting to see that, you could view the world all negatively. You get negative comments, or you see people bitching about each other. Or, I mean, I made a promise myself this year not to comment anything negative. Like, if I won't give a shit about it in 5 to 10 years, like, then don't let it impact me. And it's hard because sometimes you just want to call someone a wanker. Like, you are just being a dickhead. I look at your stuff all the time. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I'm like, Alyssa, if I have to, and I'm like, I just delete it. But I had another guy in my little community who started sharing things the other day, and I rang him up and I was like, what's the matter with you? Like, he's like, I don't know, I'm just getting really bitter at the moment. I was like, stop being a fucking mad. Like, if it's not going to affect us in 5, 10 years, why would you care? And you forget the world's massive and it's bigger than what we see and like our little groups. And even on social media, you only really see in a small selection of the world. Like, and
you're only seeing a small section of the people that you actually follow.
Yeah. Well, exactly.
It wants to show you anyway.
Yeah. Well, my fucking socials are dead. Like, I don't post anywhere near regular enough, but I also don't want to feel pressured into doing it.
Same. I literally can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just like, I can't be bothered with TikTok because I just hate everybody over there and the people who comment and they're just bitchy and nitpicky and whatever.
Yeah.
And then Instagram, I am still living in the days of like 2018 where I'm just posting pretty pictures. I'm like not video led at all. I'm just curating beautiful pictures over there. You know
Actually,
what I mean?
it's coming
Which
back,
get fuck all likes.
It's coming back though. I was going to say, annoyingly, I am obviously heavily involved in a lot of different social accounts because we run them for different clients, right? So I have to go on these fucking social networks every day. My own stuff though, like I don't want to feel forced to post on TikTok every day, post 5 times a week on Instagram or Facebook, post on LinkedIn 5 because fucking hell. Have you ever gambled?
Not really.
All right, I went through this phase where I get obsessive over stuff. I have to learn how it works, and I've got attached to gambling. Now I've got an addictive personality. I was there every fucking week. I bought all the books, how to count cards, like poker 101, like blackjack 101, all that sort of stuff. And I was trying to learn to count cards. I learned basic strategy, and I was practicing. Basic strategy is basically for every card that comes out, you know what you need to do, and it tells you within 2 or 3 moves what you should be doing. Right, the middle bit is a bit you can do what you want, but then either side tells you exactly what to do. So I carry on playing playing blackjack. And after a while, every card that comes out, I know what I'm supposed to do. Okay, it's like, I don't know, it's an 18, I stick. Okay, it's a 10, I'll double it. Or like, I don't know what the fucking words are anymore. The point is, I was doing that and I realized I wasn't enjoying it anymore because I was following the algorithm. I was following what you're supposed to do, what you get told is the best move constantly. And all of a sudden it becomes a chore. It's no longer fun. It's not enjoyable. So if something becomes a chore, I fucking lose interest straight away. And I think social media right now is just becoming a chore for a lot of people because each platform is trying to build their own presence, right? TikTok saying do this and Instagram saying do that, and you become a celebrity, you become famous, you get these views. Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I had an account manager who then gave up our account because he was famous on TikTok. I was like, excuse me? And I was like, wow, he's famous on TikTok. So I said, I have to see this because I'd never seen an ounce of enthusiasm in any conversation or Zoom call I'd ever had with him on my account. So I was like, wow, my God, you should see him over there. Like, you know what I mean? Doing all these little skits and videos. I was like, I wish I'd have seen this enthusiasm on my account.
The thing is, and as well, a lot of the time you can, like TikTok, for example, actually, you might get a lot of followers and you might get a lot of views, but actually what people are doing is just rinsing you week in, week out. And you then start to feel like, then obviously then the positive comes to like, yeah, you get rinsed loads, but actually over time, a large following follows who you are and what you believe in. And then you do have this sort of ability to make money with it. But it's not a positive place to be. I think doing that every single day is not positive. And I'm obviously a digital marketer, right? So I should be advocating for actually doing all these things, but really, I think you should just do what makes you happy and focus on the real world quite a bit as well. Because like, you spend your time online, you're going to be it's kind of toxic. You're going to be left feeling and reeling from it and left feeling a bit shit.
I think focusing on the real world is the point that I want to pick up there. One thing I like about you is you're pretty authentic and you will say things like, well, you don't mind sharing your failures and fuck ups. I am so sick of seeing social media experts, let's say, renting a Ferrari for the day and going around doing videos of themselves, right? Like this is the mark of success and this is why you should listen to me. There was one the other day that my friend shared with me. I won't mention the guy's name. He had like 27,000 followers or something like that. He was ridiculous and I couldn't stop cringing. She was like, this is the kind of guy I need to be with. I was like, you need to run a mile away from this guy. He was doing his morning routine, right? Allegedly, he gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Bullshit. Then he goes for a shower. He's filming himself in the shower, putting on his Rolex, putting on his shirt, right? Getting into a Lamborghini. And he's selling courses on how to be like, social media savvy or whatever. And I just thought, let me just tell you now, you can't have earned that money by yourself. Because if you did, you wouldn't be flaunting it in the way that you are. Do you know what I mean?
Tragic.
And I am sick of these blaggers. So he would like renting cars, sitting there in a private jet. Do you know what I mean? Like, are we like, we're over this bullshit, surely?
Yeah, it's tragic. That's like fucking 2010 Instagram. Like, get a fucking grip, lad. I bet he's like 35 or something as well.
Yeah, he is.
He's not young because young guys don't do. Well, they try, but they don't do that.
No, I bet he's a little bit older than that. Anyway, then he screenshotted how much money he'd earned in that month. I thought, well, I earn more than that, and I don't go around telling people. One, I don't go around flexing. Well, I know how hard it is for me to earn any kind of money, right? So I certainly wouldn't be blowing it on the bullshit that he's buying, like stupid fucking watches, stupid designer clothes.
She's not just a drug dealer.
Well, who knows? Well, why is he selling courses on social
Because he
media?
needs to make it look legit.
Oh my God, who knows? But I just think it is tragic, and I'm sick of seeing this. But people are still buying into it, clearly, because he's still getting people who are giving him 500 quid, a grand to have a chat with him.
It's so, you know what though? Like, so I've got a real stick up my ass about this sort of stuff.
Apologies for interrupting this podcast, but I need to ask a favour. If you're enjoying this podcast so far, then please hit that subscribe button right now. I'll be straight up and honest that I want to see this podcast grow and flourish into something that I'm really proud of. And the only way that I can do that is with your help. So if you've ever learned anything useful from these conversations, then please return the favour by liking, rating, subscribing, and maybe even sharing it with your friends. Thanks very much. Let's get back to the episode.
I should probably change to my business talk. I have a real bug to bear. Is that what you're saying?
I've never swore so much on a podcast since you've been sat
Okay,
in.
I have a stick up my ass about this. And my friend messaged me the other day and he goes, oh yeah, this guy tells me that I can be a high ticket closer. I can make loads of money. He usually charges people $5,000 for his course to learn how to do it, but he's going to teach me for free. And I was like, right. Easy money, he goes, like he signs off easy money. So I screenshot on my story. I was like, right, my mate goes this easy money. I was like, I've never made easy money. I don't fucking know anyone who's successful in business that would ever say what they did was easy anyway. Yeah. But there's no such fucking thing as easy money. The only time someone tells you something is easy is when you're the source of that revenue. So I'm going to go, yeah, you should sell Juice Plus. Juice Plus is well easy. You make loads of money. Do you want an extra £500 a month? And you go, yeah. And you're like, right, you get you and you 5 of your mates and all of you sell one each. It's fucking stupid. So anytime someone says easy money, you should run a mile. Anytime anyone's trying to flaunt success and trying to showcase it, run a mile. I've met a lot of wealthy people since I started my own business, I guess, because I'm meeting a lot of directors. I've never met one of them that showcases money if they've got it.
Exactly. I don't want to get robbed. Yeah. Literally, I think I've heard are you joking? I don't look like I've got anything. And I haven't actually got anything.
You live in Liverpool.
Yeah. But
Manchester.
I actually haven't got anything because everything that we make, it goes straight back into the business.
Yeah,
and that is every single person who's successful that I know. Yeah. Every single one of them does that.
I bought a pink watch strap yesterday for £18 from CEX. It's like and it's someone else's watch strap. I was really proud of it. I was like, look how cute.
Well, there you go. I wear it.
That's my biggest purchase this week.
Like a 5-year-old Fitbit. Do you know what I mean?
But this is the thing. I know that a lot of people make a lot of money, but it's after a long period of grind. So they would never say it's easy. And anyone that is working in a business and they're genuinely trying to scale it and they're genuinely trying to grow, will be pouring money back into it. Like that Elton John thing didn't come free. You know, that fucking AirPods thing was a couple of grand, and I've got to find that and fund my own marketing. And I hope I get a client at some point in the near future to cover the cost. But yeah, no one would to say it's easy, and the whole kind of showcase, flaunt it, is all bollocks. It's fake it to make it's bollocks. Selling courses has actually been given a bad name. I, for example, get a lot of people asking me if I can teach them how to do marketing, and I could genuinely, right? I studied it, I did a master's in it, I worked in it for 12 years, and I've got my own business for 4. So I could really teach someone, but I don't even dare put it together because I just don't want to be known as a guy who sells courses. Yeah,
no, I agree. And who's got the time? You're actually working on your business. Most people who are telling you how to run business haven't got fucking time to do it because they're doing their own business.
Those you know what I mean? teach. I originally wrote that today. Do you remember I said a guy bitter and he's in my group chat? He's like, this guy's a dickhead. And I was like, stop being so negative. But he was talking about someone who was trying to teach people.
The thing is, they're not original. They're not original thinkers anyway. You know what I mean? You've got like a top level tier, amazing TED talkers who are original thinkers. And then you've got, everyone who's done Grant Cardone's course, who is then filtered down, giving you the same, you've got to get through it. You know what I mean? There's a guy who's like...
What accent was that?
There's a guy that's popped into my head who's Irish, who is
it was Irish?
Who is literally trying to be Grant Cardone.
Someone who's like, when you eat a pot brownie and you're like, just can't get through this.
Yeah. And
I haven't eaten a pot brownie, I just assumed.
And I look at his stuff that he's putting out and I'm thinking, why would anybody pay this guy? And the most embarrassing thing about it is he's like employing like film companies to follow him around, to do like Gary Vee style videos. And I'm just like, oh, it's just embarrassing.
I'm all about fronting your business and being the face of it, 1000%. But it depends what you do, right? If Grant Cardone is just from what I can tell, a bit of a dickhead. He does talk sense, but he talks generic business stuff. Like you would get it from any business book. You listen to any person speak. It's always the same sort of stuff because it's how it is. It's just how life is. But then if they're trying to funnel you into a course of some sort, a lot of the time they're just blaggers. But annoyingly, they make a lot of money, a lot of them. Now, if everyone you see, there's probably 2,000 or 3,000 that are skin. But I think it's the idea of a quick thing. I can be a public speaker. I can be an iconic person, and I can be a I mean, even Gary Vee built a business, right? He actually genuinely did it, built it, and then they wrote a few books, and now he's probably got caught up in the celebrity stuff. But like, it's people idolizing people like Grant Cardone. I don't know what his history is actually. Donald Trump fucking crashed every business he ever touched, and had a very rich mum and dad, or mum and dad even. I think anyone can be, and this is the funny thing as well. It keeps coming up quite often. I'm like, oh, these guys are doing really well. How did they get started?
It's just marketing, surely.
I was going to find out. I always find out. It's like, oh yeah, well my dad, he basically said he'll invest. Oh, fuck off. And it's like, he gave me a couple $100,000 to get started, yeah. And then with that, I've managed to turn it into $250,000. Yeah, fuck off. It's so annoying because yeah, you got the bump start, but then they'll position themselves to people and they'll go talk to kids at schools and stuff and be like, you can do this too. It's like, really? I can be born into a rich family? Like, it's just nonsense. So I struggle to find those types of people inspiring.
And the other thing that I think people don't actually talk about is like, if you've not really had that, when you've had like a comfortable background, or you have got a comfortable background, you've got a safety net. You've got an invisible safety net there that you're never going to be destitute. So if you do go and like blitz 50 grand on a business idea that doesn't work, listen, you're always going to have somebody there to pick up the pieces. But when you haven't got a safety net, you've come from nothing, your mum and dad have got nothing, they're living in a council house and it's all on you now, you know, there's a different hesitation. Like there's two people, there's podcasters who annoy me. I had a bit of a rant about this last week, but I'm going to do it again. The podcasters that annoy me, telling me how to live my life. I'm like, number one, you haven't got kids. And number two, you just aren't living this. You haven't got the same 24 hours. You really haven't. Like, it's all right for Chris Williamson to sit there and go, yeah, well, you've got to get up in the morning, put your sunlight in your eyes and go for a nice walk and do all this. I'm like, all right, okay, yeah, tell me you haven't got kids.
I wake up and put a finger in my ass.
Yeah.
Getting it wrong.
I'm like, oh yeah, well.
I knew I was doing something wrong.
I'll just leave my daughter sat there in a nappy that she's been in all night, shall I? And, you know, and trying to run a household and everything else. You know, he's a single guy. We haven't got the same 24 hours. I would rather listen to a female CEO or female, you know, like Sarah Blakely, someone like that. She's got 4 kids, multi-warp, you know, she's got Spanx. I listen to her all day long because she knows what it takes. She's got that invisible mental load and has managed to curtail that and, you know, get around it. And she's, you know, I'm sick of these like young podcast fellas trying to tell everyone how to run a business when, you know, they haven't got the same constraints.
I genuinely say fair fucking play to anyone who's got kids and runs a business.
Yeah.
In fact, a lot of the time I use that as my motivator. I'm like, I'm tired. I can't do this. And I'm like, fucking hell, you know, I know the story of someone. I'm like, they did it with like fucking 2 kids and they had to work full time. Like, so why am I moaning? Like, obviously just need to dig down and get more from it. So actually, I fully respect that. I did a podcast not long ago and I actually said like, the one thing I can't stand, I say it pisses me off, is when people aren't achieving what they want to achieve, yeah, but they fucking complain about it but they don't do anything about it, right? I'm all for people complaining, but it's just the complaining without the solution. I can't stand complaining without the solution.
Or without action.
Like anything, any sort of indication that you're trying to change that. I mean, I'm probably like so I went to university knowing that I was trying to change. At that point, I decided I'm going to change my trajectory in life. I'm supposed to go this way, but I'm going to go this way. And that's the university, going back to uni after getting kicked out of college was my big moment of change. And that was 12 years ago. And I'm still working towards that now. Every day, every time I wake up, like this year, I'm not drinking, I'm not going out, I'm not seeing my friends, I'm cutting people out of my life just because I'm constantly trying to make little tweaks and changes, improve. And I find that a lot of time I'm cutting people out who are like what I'm saying. They'll be in a job and they're making money and they'll be stuck and they go, oh, I want to go to gym, but I can't because I have no time. Or they go, I really want to start a business, but I need money to get started. And I get fucking fed up of hearing it because it's one of those like, what are you gonna do about it? Just do something, do anything at all.
Yeah. Problem is when you're in that corporate world, I've got a friend who's in it. They pay her so well that she's stuck.
I wish I got fucking paid well.
She's stuck in it though, like because she's got used to the money and she's got a certain lifestyle that comes with that kind of money. But they want a pound of flesh out of her for it. Yeah. Would she ever have the balls to leave that job and go into be entrepreneurial? No, she wouldn't. Do
you know what I think? I don't know if I would have, or when I would have taken the leap if I hadn't lost my job because of COVID. And at that point, I was already on a reduced salary for a few months of like 40%. So I was really struggling to survive anyway. And then I had no money all of a sudden. So actually, it was no risk. Yeah. Whereas when
you had no other option.
Yeah. So, but I was always wanting to start a business. And I was planning it and I was doing.
Well, that's the thing. So imagine you were still in that job and then they give you a promotion and you're getting paid more. You would be then to like,
Yeah, it's hard, but now it's easy. Just live like,
Well, you got no choice.
yeah, just live like a student.
Yeah.
It's really fun. I genuinely enjoy it. Like, will we make it home?
Shut up, you like
Swear.
Oliver Twist over here.
No,
Like
but
you're
it's
going
like-
on like you are Oliver
No,
Twist.
but like now it's like it's petrol bingo day, isn't it? Like, are we going to make it home today? Are we not? Like, woo, 0 miles.
You are not that destitute.
No, I'm
I know
joking.
you're
I'm not. But I have been in the last couple of years, and I was definitely during COVID, and I was really struggling. And I did, and you know, I just head dived into debt. I was like, woo, give me the money. It's like, because I knew there's no way to survive. So I was like, what am I worried about? Like, fuck
Yeah.
it. So like, business loans and things like that I used to get started, or just to pay the bills. Actually, it's probably not what you're supposed to do with it, but just to actually survive COVID, I had to take out loans. 'Cause I wasn't due for a loan or anything. Like overdrafts fucking out my ears. Like, I haven't got any credit cards because I'd spend those fuckers too.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
I'd max everything out. So, but the point is, I just don't worry anymore because I know that it's going to work out now. At this point, I'm 4 years in, but I know it's going to work. I already know I've got a business. I can see how it's working. I can see how people connect with it. So all I've got to do is just hold on. I feel like it's just holding on that little bit longer. Have you seen that diagram of the person digging and then just beyond that is all the diamonds? And someone sent me today. But the point is, it's just all about just sort of like hunkering down and making sure you survive, making conscious decisions, making a plan and sticking to that plan, and then just ignore everything else. Like, fucking ignore it. Like, ignore negative comments. Ignore the bank going, you owe this money now. I never had one of them yet. Ignore the bailiffs at the fucking door. What's he gonna? And the thing is, like, I used to get sad and worried about money when I had a job and I had the most money I've ever had. Like, now I haven't got that income and I'm just like, fuck it. Like,
It'll work out in the end.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm just like becoming an eternal optimist or if I'm actually just like living head in the sand. But I just think
I think you're now getting a bit more social proof that you know that you are getting clients, you are getting people telling you that what you do is good.
Yeah.
So that's coming with confidence. You've now got confidence in your own ability and what you do. And if not, you'll just put yourself back out there, which is how let's come back around to it because The Apprentice is back on our screens.
Yeah, no one watches it anymore. Not one person watching this will watch the show.
Well, I actually have been watching it and I've already picked my winner.
Actually, Sandra will be like, I don't know if there's Sandra, this is not targeted. She'll be like, I do actually fucking watch The Apprentice. I don't appreciate his attitude or tone.
I've picked my winner already. Clear winner for me.
She's watched one episode. She lies.
Amina.
You've watched one episode. How you picked a winner?
Because I just thought, I read all the CVs in the Daily Mail and I thought...
You read the CVs?
She is the one that I would give a job to and would learn a lot from. So she'd done it with a toddler. So I thought, you are having my money.
Right, so you did that and I went and watched. I went, who's the most handsome man this year? That's how I went to look at it. I'm not trying to find someone to date or anything.
Are you heterosexual?
Well, I think so. I didn't know. He's pretty sexy. No, but like, I was like, I wonder who the handsome ones are. Because they hire like people to fit certain roles.
Well, of course they do. And the people who are great TV.
And then who's the mental one? Like, I figured that one out as well.
Okay. So you were on The Apprentice. Talk to me about like, what's the process like? Is it as brutal as it looks?
Yeah, I really struggle to remember a lot of this stuff, but I remember it being really shit. I remember it being a lot of grind and graft every day, lack of sleep, being stitched up. Someone actually spoke about this recently and he was like, in the newspapers, The Apprentice is staged. And it's like, yeah, of course it is, you fucking idiots. And the worst part is I used to be one of them idiots. I used to believe it was real. I still am one of them idiots, but I now know it's fake. So
in what way is it fake?
Everything about it. Like, for you, it's real. Like, you think it's real. You're put into a situation. It's like almost like being put into a predetermined place. Like, they know what they're going to do to you. They know how they're going to stitch you up. As you make decisions, they tell you what you can and can't do. I think Ryan Mark revealed the fact that when you start a task, you get given a big dossier, really, that's what they call it, and you read through the project and what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. And like, if the other team choose something, you can't have it. And it's just a complete fucking stitch up. And the reason why it was so annoying is because I genuinely believed that it was a business show. I completely forgot it was a reality entertainment show. I never really saw it like that. I probably watched it like a lot of people do and go, "Why is it so bad?" But like I watched it. When I was taking part in it, I thought it was real. I just want to start a business. That's all I've ever wanted to do. That's why. Then when I went back to study university at business, first day I was there, he was like, "Why are you here?" I went, "I want to start a business one day." And he was like, "You don't need to study business." And I was like, "Well, I don't want to be stupid."
No, I know, but
that's all I cared about. And it was sad that it wasn't like that.
So they set the tasks for you, and then they give you a dossier of what you're allowed to say and what you're not allowed to say. Is that right?
No, it's not so much what you're not. Sorry, picking my nose. It's not what you're not allowed to say. It's what you kind of how the task is going to run, and you sort of pick certain things. I'll give you an example.
Yeah, go on.
So we were doing ice lollies.
Right.
I'm not picking my nose, by the way. Look, I'm just itching the end. That's what my nan used to say.
Isn't that what if you're about to have an argument?
It's just a scratch on the inside. But yeah, so we were making iced lollies and we were like, oh, this is a great task. I'm excited for this. And we were like, oh, what category would you like to choose? And so we went, we want to go healthy because it's like, fruit and stuff like that. And I think our ingredients were, I shit you not, this is for an ice cream, like iced lolly.
Yeah.
Go on, guess what sort of ingredients we got?
Oh, I don't know. So not fruit based.
Well, no, there was like, some fruits. But like, what would you sort of say? If someone said to you, well, you're going to make a healthy one, a healthy ice lolly, what sort of ingredients would you expect?
I don't know, like fruit, maybe something like a low-cal ice cream or like, make maybe like something vegan, like a soy milk ice cream or something like that, coconut ice cream. Or it wouldn't be covered in sugar or chocolate.
Yeah, that's kind of how I saw it. So it sounded nice, right? We had to bear in mind, you had to use something like 4 of like, it's like 10 ingredients, you had to use at least 4 of them. And obviously there was only one good. So we had like blackberries and raspberries. That was cool. Granola.
Right.
Granola.
Full of sugar, yeah.
It's fucking ice cream.
Yeah.
Like an ice pop. Well, how is granola going in ice pop? So my first argument was, what the fuck? Spinach.
Right.
You give me spinach and granola to make an ice cream with. So this is stressing me out, obviously, because I know it's a stitch up, but there's nothing you can do about it. And you're there going, we're going to look like dickheads on camera. Like people are going to watch this and go, who the fuck puts granola? Because my response was, who the fuck gives someone granola? What else did we get? Cinnamon.
Cinnamon's great. Real superfood. I could have sold a lot on cinnamon.
Yeah. But in an ice cream, an ice lolly, how am I supposed to get granola, cinnamon, and fucking all that stick together? What, we should put it in
like
ice?
Like a fab. No, I would have made it like a fab. So I would have done like, the granola on the top layer.
No, but it was on a stick.
Yeah, well, how does fab get its hundreds and thousands on the top?
True. Anyway.
Would have been great on this task.
What else do we have in it? The best part was beetroot juice.
So to make it purple, again, I would have gone.
That's what I did.
This is why I'm in the health industry, because I would have gone hell to leather on every single superfood. And the marketing messages would have been amazing. And everyone would have been buying my fab.
Well, actually, interesting. What we did with that one was we blended the blackberries. No, what did we do? I used a beetroot juice. First thing I thought was colouring. Colour it purple.
Yeah. It tastes like earthy. You can't use too much of it.
Dog shit. Like, it's not earthy. Like, there was kids. There was, I know what I remember. I still remember. So obviously we made them. It looks fucking great. Oh, they didn't show it on camera. I tasted it. I wanted to throw up, and the guy next to me did the same thing. And so a little kid runs up to us in a park, and we were like, "Oh yeah!" And mum buys one for them. It's like really healthy, like cool. And literally started eating it and started crying so loud. And I was like, "I know, mate. I feel you. Like it's horrible, but like." I get it's supposed to be entertainment, right? And I get they give you funny ingredients, but then you're sat there going,
you're going to like an absolute
people are going to
idiot.
think, who the fuck puts granola in an ice cream? Like, not ice cream, in a nice lolly. Like, think about it. Like, if you eat if you like lick a granola ice, it's going to take the skin off your tongue. It's grim. I remember sitting there just eating the granola, pissed off, fuming.
Well, no, I get that because obviously selling great food is all about that bliss point, and like, people spend millions and millions trying to get like bread to the perfect touch and texture and everything else. And I agree that granola in that texture would be awful, but so I get it. I do get what you're trying to say.
I just wanted banana. I wanted a nana, some berries, some cherries. That would be perfect.
Do you regret going on the show?
No, you know what? I've never regretted anything I've ever done. Because I genuinely believe everything's character building. Do I think it was anything like I expected? No. I probably wouldn't recommend other people go on it either. Like my family and friends, like people I don't like, they can go on it. But like friends and family, I'd probably say no, because it has the power to do more harm than good. For example, for me, like when I did like a task and it all went to pot, but like I'd already been told what I can and can't do. I'll give you an example. I came up with like 7 different names for a brand, and they were like, you can't use the first 6, but you can use the last one.
Oh, right.
And
okay.
Like my last choice was the shittest thing I could think of. You know what I mean? So like, after a while, I just gave up. But like, I'm a marketing person. And if I'd gone over my marketing agency and I'm fucking up a marketing task, I could have been.
What was your business plan?
It was for the travel stuff I worked on.
Oh, right, okay.
But like, it could have had impact. I could have had clients lost clients, but they don't give a shit because they're producers and they want to make a TV show, and they really don't give a fuck about you as a person. Like, and I don't care. We signed all these like non-disclosure stuff, but other people are talking about it now, and I think it's important that people realize that it can. This is why you see people get like have problems with mental health and stuff, from TV shows and things, and they have like breakdowns and they go missing or not missing, but they go missing offline and things because they can't deal with it. It's because they set you up in a situation like that, and then you've got to face those consequences, and they're completely step away from it because it's 6-7 months later or whatever. It's just a bit sad. Luckily, I can laugh at myself and take the piss at myself, and I can take the jokes or whatever. And obviously, a lot of time sometimes we do make mistakes, which is fine. I would rather it just be a bit more honest and genuine. I remember we sat down, the producers. We all came together and we're like, look, they make us like dicks. I'm fed up. We're all tired. We're not getting any sleep anyway. So they're making you make loads of mistakes because you're just tired. And we sat them down and we're just like, just let us fucking compete fairly. Even like them having the ability to make a team lose or a person win. Do you know what I mean? Like, because they can go, oh, you guys got the most revenue because we counted the tickets. Oh, 3 people wanted a refund. Who?
Oh, really? Do you think it was that like unscrupulous?
But that's that genuinely. It's not. I think it is like, because we'd be like, we didn't fucking see anyone ask for a refund. Oh no, they asked for a 50% refund. Shut the fuck up. Like, I get you want to pull strings and I get you want to make a show and you have to tell a storyline, but just don't be dicks.
Yeah,
it's not too much to ask, is it? I mean, we and especially when people are giving their like time, a lot of them are giving their time away from a business, months away from work, months away from the family, to be like almost made to feel like a dickhead and
like completely useless.
Yeah, and then if you ask, oh no, you're imagining it, like proper gaslit. It was fucking, for me, I think in the terms of toxicity, it's the most toxic thing I've ever experienced. I've never had someone fully try and gaslight me before, but these guys, like,
why would the producers like set, like, I know on Scousewise used to do this, so they used to take.
You've been a part of this, you must know this sort of vibe.
And actually, when I saw the edit for Bear Grylls, I was like, that didn't happen in the way that I'm now seeing it. You know, they made us look a lot more useless, a lot more hungry than we were, a lot more useless than we actually were. So, but whatever. I just was like, yeah. Let it roll.
But you just
took out a lot of my swearing, which I was happy about. So.
But you just have to go, oh, fine, I'll deal with it. But that it's okay for you and your friends and family, like you said. But
producers goad you. So there was one in particular incident. She was like, well, don't you think it's funny, Alyssa, how all the men have gone out, trying to get... try and hunt and this, that, and the other. And you're just at camp cleaning up the camp. I was like, well, no, not really. Men have got more testosterone, therefore more energy. And that's what they do. That's what they're good at. Hunt together. It's literally biology. So you can try and goad me in any way you want. It's not true.
They do the same thing.
But so did they kind of like separate you off and then...
Yeah. Sit down with you and go, oh,
this one said this about you.
He's being a proper bitch, right? And you're like, fuck off. Like, and the thing is like, it's hard not to get to buy into it because you're like locked away from everyone. You've not got a phone. You've not got outside world connection. It's your reality at that moment. It's just really unhealthy. I think it's a very unhealthy thing to be involved in. And I say all this stuff like it's a big, massive negative to me. And it is, to be fair, it's probably the weirdest and one of the most unhealthy things I've ever been a part of. And I have to deal with the fault. It wasn't really a fallout for me, but like some people got like serious things, like really bad things said about them and stuff. And they had to deal with that fallout. And a lot of the time, like, there's nothing you can do about it. And the people don't know. And people have just heard from a newspaper that you said something when really you never did. But actually, do I regret it? No, because I think it opened my eyes to a different side of the world that I wasn't privy to before, how people think, what they're trying to get out of it, the newspapers, how they work, journalists, like a lot of snaky stuff. Maybe before I was just like wet behind the ears and I just thought everyone's nice, everyone's good.
Well, they're in the business of selling a TV show, making the most entertaining TV show, and they're fighting for your attention. Just like you're in the same game as fighting for attention for people in marketing. You need to make an engaging piece of content, otherwise people aren't engaging with it. They're doing exactly the same thing on TV. But journalists are also skewing the facts that they've got in front of them to make the biggest headline and skew the story because they're in the business of selling stories.
But this is where I always say I'd never done anything. I can honestly say I've never done anything with malicious intent. I've never purposely set out to hurt someone or do them harm or anything. Like I might have gone like, carry on, I'll throw some at you and then drop some. My brother. I threatened to hit him with a hammer and I dropped the hammer and he was like, Mum. It's like, he said it. So like that sort of stuff is I just manifested it for him. But like I've never ever maliciously tried to do anything with like, and like an intent to hurt them in any way, shape or form. And I know in marketing, I would never do the same. Never. The campaigns would never have a negative undertone. I'd never purposely be controversial or try to stir up drama. So if you're that sort of fucking person, that's your living and that's your job. Like,
but the world is negatively biased, and actually, more negative headlines get clicked on more on the Daily Mail. Yeah. More negative headlines on YouTube get clicked on more. So we're living in this world when negativity makes you a lot more money.
Maybe the media, but the people who are buying into it, they're probably not doing fuck all.
It's like I can be watching an innocuous YouTuber and it'll be, you know, her going about her day, but the headline on it will be, me and my husband are splitting up. And then, you know what I mean? It'll be like, they're splitting up for the day. You know, and he's going off in London for the day and she's going to the Cotswolds. That's literally, but the headline is negative. Yeah, whatever.
That sounded crap anyway. Meanwhile,
that's the innocuous rubbish I watch.
I was going to say, I was trying to think of an example where I've purposefully edited something out, and a thing that popped to my head was the AirPods thing. So I actually did genuinely leave them on a plane. When I got off, it was like transfer, and I was like, I need to get them back, and they won't let me back on the plane. And they went, we'll bring them to you. The cleaning crew will pick them up and bring them downstairs. And then the cleaning crews obviously sit and pocketed them and left the airport, and then I've had to leave. So it was like I left them on the plane, but then they actually were stolen by the staff, despite me waiting there. And I could have. When I got them back, I could have showcased the guy's face. Yeah. I could have put him on camera going, why the fuck did you do this? I could have shown exactly where his apartment was or what number it was. All these things. But when I edited it, I actually, stretched the video so you couldn't see his face, made sure you couldn't tell who was speaking, cut out the door number. Unfortunately, you could see where it was because that was on the street, but there's like 4 buildings. But like, that was me again, purposefully avoiding a malicious situation.
You could have just bought new AirPods.
I could have, but that's not content.
Exactly.
But again, it's a negative thing, but I've made sure I'm not hurting anyone. I made sure that there's no negative malicious intent behind it. I am actually chasing a thief who's actually robbed my AirPods, and I'm actually going to confront him at his actual house in the actual Middle East.
I know.
It's fucking weird that he went there. But the point is...
Yeah, but it makes for a good story. It's a great dinner party story. And again, it puts your marketing agency on the map, which is the whole point of doing it. Again, did Apple reach out to you and say, hi, Lewis, we really love your content?
Do you know what? Again, it wasn't why we did it. Some people think that's why, but no, that's not why. I just, it was a situation that happened. I thought, how can we make this a marketing thing? And I was like, well, if I'm using an Apple iPhone and an Apple Mac to use Find My from around the world to get it back, and if I can locate it within an inch of its life and find it, then that's marketing for Apple, right? That's a marketing campaign for Apple. And no one's ever done this before. So that's how I did it. But I actually genuinely thought they'd reach out. I thought they would say it's very clever. Before I went, I actually sent a message to a couple of Apple people saying, hey, look, I'm going to do this thing. I don't know if you guys want to see it. And they were just like, yeah, let us know whenever you do it. And then I never heard back.
No.
But it's not even a negative thing. It's actually quite a positive thing. Like, I use their feature to locate their product with their products.
No, I know. It's great free marketing for them. Yeah.
And it actually genuinely works. Like, so... I couldn't fucking believe we found them, like, genuinely. I know I'm just talking about this now, but like, genuinely, it was so weird. Like, imagine turning up and there's like 3 lots of flats, and all you've got is your fucking phone, and you can see it's in the middle of the complex, and you got to try and find the floor, the door, the house, the room, the person's bag. Anyway.
Crazy. Okay, so we're just going to wrap up now, but so for anybody starting a business, and give me the top 3 things that they should be doing in marketing to make themselves stand out.
I think the first thing marketing wise is you should find... Okay, I always say to people, align the business with your values, what you stand for, right? Because it's way easier to market something if it's just you. Like, hustle's my personality. I'm guessing Elle-Sera is your personality. And I've got a lot of friends that run their business and it's their personality. It allows you, when you know what you stand for and what you want to speak about and what you want to be perceived as, if your business is aligned with you, then you just extend that to your business. Like, I like to be cheeky. I like to do mischievous things. So my business can do that sort of creative. And then I like to swear all the time. So I got to make sure my fucking podcast says fuck all the time. No, but you know what I mean? Like, make it I think if you're starting a business, a lot of the time, look for how you can connect it to yourself. And I think that's how you breathe life into a business. And then people say it takes on a life of its own, and it grows, and it becomes your baby and it grows up. And I think what that means is that you sort of give it the initial ethos, brand values, what it stands for, what the culture is going to be like, how the staff are going to be treated, all that sort of stuff. And then it starts to take on its own legs because people start to attach themselves to that brand, what the brand stands for, what it's all about. And then they make it their own, and it grows up. And then you're no longer like... It's not all longer about you. It's not your personality. It's the brand, but you breathe life into it. So I think a lot of the time marketing is just sit there and think about, if you're starting a business, this is how you can align it with yourself, what you believe in and how you feel and think and what you think is right and wrong, and allow your businesses to take stands on things. The second thing would be harness your uniqueness, which is kind of the same vibe as that, except for once you figure that out, show it to the world, right? Don't be afraid to sit on the fence. Don't fucking sit there and go, oh, if I appease everyone, then it'll be fine. Because if you appease everyone, no one's going to know or care what you do. Most of the brands in the world, think about any brand you want, there'll be a massive subsection of haters behind it into the millions, but it doesn't matter because all they have to do is have X amount of people in this space that buy into it on a whole nother level. So don't sit on the fence. Don't be a, reclusive. No, it's not the word. What's the word? When you are not recluse, but like, fuck knows. Don't just don't hide away, I guess. And really, you know what you stand for, because if it's about yourself, or if the business has its own values, you know what it's all about. So project it in any way, shape or form. Use every opportunity you can, like, be it social media content, personal meetings with people. If you've got a fucking, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a stupid example, but I can't. Like, take Red Bull. Red Bull very rarely talk about the products, very rarely showcase the products. Everything's all about crazy stunts, world records, and being innovative, adventure, exhilaration, that sort of stuff. So take inspo. I guess the third thing I would say, these are all very closely aligned. I think the first and second point were the same, but it's fine. Third point is, don't reinvent the wheel. I said this the other day, actually. You don't need to fucking... Oh God, I got to stop swearing. Right? You don't need to make everything fresh, right? You don't need to start from scratch. You know.
Yeah, you don't need to invent something completely new. You could just you could make cups if you really want to, but just give them a better service than what the service is out there already.
Exactly. Well, the same principle. So in terms of marketing, that's business related, marketing related, same thing, right? So find someone who's already doing what you want to do, or someone who you aspire to be like. What are they doing? How are they speaking? What content are they using? What platforms are they using? How often do they post? What do they post? How do they edit? Rah, rah, rah. And you can model yourself around whoever you think is who you aspire to be like. The best thing you can do is to get yourself ahead of the world is to follow the recipe, right? Chefs don't fucking just go, I'm going to make a pie from, well, they probably do after a while, right? But they don't go, I'm going to make a pie from scratch. I've never made an apple pie before. What the fuck's an apple? They follow a recipe. And I think the same thing, you can see other people's recipes there. We're in a world which is digitally connected more than it's ever been. Follow their recipes, find what is working. Why is it working for them? Analyze, study, and replicate. And then eventually what you'll do is when you start getting some nice rhythm, you'll find your own feet and you'll branch off that into your own thing. You got to think, for example, TikTok, for example, is an innovative platform, but it came from off the backs of fucking Bebo, MySpace, YouTube,
Instagram,
yeah, and then it became its own beast. So it kind of replicated how it's going. Everything is like that. Business, like you said, with a completely new business, you don't have to go. I'm going to make a cup complete. I don't know how to fucking even use this one. But okay, let's take car. Like electric cars didn't go, right, we're going to start from scratch. Like, how many wheels should it have? They've not had to do that because they look at what works, okay, and they go, how can we improve on this now? And how can we remove the negatives from that? And actually, you get quite a lot of a stronger product, service, or marketing. Fucking hell, I've run out of words today. Marketing sort of atmosphere.
Yeah. My biggest tip, I think, if you're starting a business is make sure you account for your marketing budget, because people I know price their product, but they go, okay, so it's cost me £10 and I'm going to sell it for 30. I'm like, you haven't put your marketing budget in there. So, and actually, how much is it going to cost you to acquire a customer? Could cost you more than £30 to acquire your customer. You know, and they might only be a one-time purchaser. So the biggest thing is, I think people don't, I know in Elle-Sera, our biggest spend is marketing, because we have to get people to buy it. You know, we have to put it in front of people. So that's the main thing I would say in marketing. You've got to account for that spend. And when you get to know who your customers are, that spend does come down. But in the beginning, you have to account for that spend inside your price point.
Yeah. And also watch how it comes back.
Yeah.
You probably watch the sales and you probably go, right, I spent this much this year. How much did I get back? How much has it grown this year?
Yeah.
It's tough. Marketing's tough. Like, it fucking is for anyone. And my biggest hatred is for, it's not really hatred, it's just annoyance. It's businesses that have been around for ages. They don't even do any marketing. They're just like fucking, yeah, we just make millions every year. Don't even do marketing. I'm like, fuck you, dude. Like, fuck you. Because even I have to do marketing. So I hate those guys. And it's always guys as well. It's always like 50-year-old men with like a machine company, and we just make machines and just make millions every year. I'm gonna go fly my jet, mate. Fuck off.
Do you know what I want? I want a car park.
Yeah.
I just want multiple car parks in cities, because Jesus Christ, I went to Spinningfield car park the other day. I was only there.
Yeah, it's expensive.
6 hours, 34 quid.
Yeah, nice.
6 hours,
but it's a mistake.
£34.
Although this one here, if you took over this, you could put a lift in it, because I'm on the 12th fucking floor.
Well, it's only £5 a day, and that's why
there's 12 floors up and there's no lift
in it. That's why.
Yeah, I'm going to be knackered. I kept going down. I was like, oh my God, I'm going to have to come back up.
Think of the positives, be optimistic, you get loads of steps.
I'm going to get someone to give me a lift up. I'm going to stand at the bottom.
Lewis, we could chat for ages, but we've come to the end of the podcast. So I'd just like to thank you for being my guest today. And if people want to get hold of you and maybe get some of your disruptive marketing, how can they?
Just Google me, bitch.
Great. Okay, there you go. All right, then I will see you soon.